LawBreakers, a failure of a game, and now that with Bosky Productions moving on to their new projects, I think it is fair to say that this game has officially died and been given up on by developers and community alike. With such a game that had such potential, you kind of look at it and think, how did this game even fail? There was media coverage, there was a lot of potential, there was a lot of YouTubers that played this game. NOEA456, I believe, even played a little bit, with a lot of competitive support. Like what you're seeing here is a match from the PlayStation 4 League, which just happened about a week ago. You may look at it and think, why did LawBreakers fail? And I've done research, I've done analyzations, and I've come to a conclusion. And the theories that we have are not only completely wrong, or not completely wrong, but they are wrong, but also fixing it may not be as hard as some people are making it sound. So first of all, let's talk about the 3 theories that I have found are the most common theories on why this game failed. So the common theories are 1. Advertising, 2. Development, and 3. Oversaturated market. We'll break these all down and kind of discuss how they're false, but how they tie into the big subject in a moment. But first, let's start with advertising. So with advertising, people are saying that LawBreakers didn't advertise, but LawBreakers had its audience. Yeah, you didn't see LawBreakers ads on TV or on YouTube, but me personally, I found LawBreakers ads on Twitch. Granted, they were a bit late into the cycle of LawBreakers and towards the end of LawBreakers, but there was still advertising. And the thing that they did was they wanted to appeal to their audience, which is a hardcore, avid gamer who seek competition, who seek the competitive game. That's who LawBreakers appealed to. I believe they went to PAX East and PAX West with a LawBreakers stand. They let competitive players play the game. Competitive players were knowing about the game. People who were serious about gaming, people who wanted to play the game, knew about this game. So, saying that advertising was poor, though true, it did not lead to a downfall of the game. It made it to where the audience was a bit more selective. The audience was very selective. The strange tactic worked, as a lot of competitive gamers were coming into the scene. Some phase players ended up trying out the game for a little bit, but I believe they quickly dropped out. I'm not sure why, I'm not 100% sure, but I do think it had something to do with player count. A lot of competitive players were playing, a lot of really skilled players were playing this. Top 500 players in Overwatch. I hear a lot of people, whenever you recruit for a team, it's a lot of top 500 players in Overwatch. So competitive players were playing this game. The strange tactic worked. The competitive gamers came and left because, really, when there's only 400 people playing, there's not a lot of competition. So a lot of people left. They left because not enough newer players were playing. The game had plenty of competitivity, but it was too much competitivity to where there wasn't enough. It was quickly dried out. Advertising did exist. It was very poor, and a lot of it came late into the game cycle, but it worked. Theory number 2 is going to come in, and theory number 2 is development. Now, I kind of have to explain this a bit. So basically what I mean by development is Cliff Bleszinski, the head director of LawBreakers, and his personality. A lot of people blame Cliff's personality and really just, his hardcore gamer personality, the just everything about the developers and how they wanted more, like they were cocky, they were like, oh, this is the next $1 billion IP. However, as a gamer, as myself, as someone who considers to be, pretty avid gamer, I didn't care. And I know a lot of people didn't. I didn't care if the lead developer was some cocky asshole. I didn't care that there was some guy who was, who was kind of greedy, who thought he was all this, all that, was running the game. Because if the game plays well, which it plays very, very well, then, you know, I'm gonna play the game, I'm gonna enjoy the game. So this is kind of a false argument. Another thing that falls into this is, of course, the fact that they stopped updating pretty quick. But the thing was, they updated as much as they could with the limited budget and the fact that there was such a small amount of players. They got around 10 updates out before the game officially collapsed. And with all those 10 updates, there wasn't really much of a spike in players, you know. That's not really their fault. They were updating the game. The developers were very, very persistent on their project. They wanted this project to succeed, so they were going to do just that. They were going to make this project succeed. Sadly, the real reason that the game failed is going to be coming up, and things will start to unfold. So the third and final theory that I found is oversaturation of the market. On PC, this could be arguably one of the reasons. You know, PC, you have games like Dirty Bomb, Overwatch, Paladins, Unreal Tournament. You have all these, you know, first-person arena shooters that are supposed to appeal to the hardcore, to the competitive gamer. However, when you look at PS4, the case is not the same. As far as I'm concerned, like I said with my research, there are 2 hero shooters, arena shooters, on PlayStation. That is Overwatch and Paladins. Both games play pretty much the same, both games are pretty much the same, and there's not much different in them, and nothing is definitely like LawBreakers. We don't have an Unreal Tournament, we don't have a fast-paced, gritty multiplayer shooter, we don't have this kind of multiplayer experience. Mostly, you know, you have Battleborn, right? That's probably the closest you get to, you know, a hero shooter besides Overwatch and Paladins, but that's considered a MOBA. Same thing with Paragon, but Paragon is now off the market. So all of these games, you don't have a LawBreakers. LawBreakers was the only game like this on PS4, as far as I'm concerned. Now, if I'm incorrect, please let me know. If you know that there's a game that's just like LawBreakers on PS4, please let me know. But as far as I'm concerned, nothing is like LawBreakers on console. Nothing has this experience, and for a lot of people like me who don't want to spend money on a PC just to be able to play some hardcore games, some, you know, kind of classic Unreal Tournament style games, then, you know, I'm not going to do it. I'm going to play with whatever I can get. I'm not going to spend thousands of dollars on a PC that can support it. I'm going to spend $30 on a game that pretty much does the same thing, and I'll be able to play with my friends. So that pretty much cancels that out. Like I said, for PC, you know, you could argue this because there are a lot of games like this on PC. It's not very original on PC, but for console, this is a new experience. This is something that we don't have on console. So oversaturation on console was definitely not something that should have happened. So with 8 minutes and 11 seconds as of recording into the video, we are finally going to enter the real reason LawBreakers died. 2 words: media reaction. LawBreakers was killed by its media reaction. Large YouTubers, like I said, played the game, and, you know, on day 1, or before day 1, you know, on the betas, it was crazy. You know, there was several servers open. I believe there was a peak of 1 million players on the beta. I could be wrong, my numbers might be wrong, but there was a lot of players on the beta, especially on PS4. PS4 was amazing during the beta. And it was fun. You know, you wouldn't have to wait like 30 minutes to get in the queue. You were able to queue immediately, and you would see people you didn't see in the last game. That was during the beta, whenever people cared. But really quickly, media coverage took place. Basically, a lot of people were calling the game unplayable on day 1 due to lag, due to lack of servers, basically everything that, you know, was a problem with the day 1 game, but they were overreacting so bad. Personally, I don't remember any problems playing day 1. It was amazing. It was still smooth. I didn't have any problems with, you know, I didn't have any glitches, no lag. Everything was smooth. Everything was fine. But apparently, a few people, and these are the people that were streaming the game, got a bit of lag. They got a bit of, you know, frame rate drops, and this made the game, quote, unplayable. This gave the game a very, very bad reputation. Really quickly, people were not buying the game. I can name at least 10 people that would have bought the game if this reaction did not happen so quickly. if people were not jumping at this, because day one this is going to happen, and the patch came out really quickly. There was a real quick patch that fixed everything, but the media coverage already ruined and tainted the image of this game, causing the game to already be on a downfall, slowly declining in players because people were calling it unplayable, so people weren't buying the game because it was unplayable. And when people stop buying the game, people stop playing because then the limited player count kicks in, and it's just this big snowball effect of people leaving and people not playing. Media coverage also made the game seem deader at launch. It was dead at launch, but the fact is they milked it. Everyone was saying how the game died, and like I said, this drifted away new players really, really fast. If you watch the LawBreakers video, nothing positive was said. It was almost all, negatives, even though the game had exceptional reviews and was received positively on Steam. And as well with PS4, I believe has 4.5 stars on PS4. Anyone who played the game and still plays the game, even remotely religiously, will tell you it's a refreshing multiplayer experience, and it is amazing. So sad to see it die. So in conclusion, the game died due to some poor advertising, but mostly overreaction of media coverage and a lot of spitting on the game when it was down, to make sure LawBreakers didn't have its second chance. The second chance is possible, as all you have to do is really make the game free to play and advertise a bit more. That's all. That's really all they have to do to fix this game. I've done my research. I know people that will download and play this game if it's free to play. I know people just haven't heard of the game and stuff like that. They haven't heard of its launch because there was no launch trailers. So that's really why LawBreakers died. Thank you all for watching. I hope you all learned something, and let's not let this happen to another game again, especially a good game like LawBreakers. I'll see you all when I see you all. Twos.